And hello, everybody. Welcome. I almost said to Invisible Sun because my brain's in the wrong stream. Welcome to Brindlewood Bay. So excited to have you here for a night of cozy mystery solving. Um, my name is Kian. I'm going to be the keeper for tonight's game, so I'll be guiding our players through the storytelling. Before I hand it over to them and have them introduce themselves, their characters, tell us a little bit about them, and we get into some of the mechanics of Brindlewood Bay, I have a little bit of housekeeping to do. Most important thing right off the bat is that here at Entropy Emporium, we are raising money currently and will probably continue to be doing so for the foreseeable future for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They're doing really important work on the ground in Gaza. We've just dropped the Tiltify link in the chat. Feel free to donate there instead of doing subscriptions or anything like that. Please don't stop talking about Gaza. Keep all eyes on Sudan. Keep all eyes on Congo. Pay attention to what is going around in the world. But that is what we are currently raising money for. If you like what we do, if you want to come hang out, feel free to join our Discord. It is honestly just a bunch of feral screaming most days, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good people. So feel free to come hang out, jump into chat. We would love to have you on a game over here on Entropy Emporium. I will go over all of the games that we have going on later on at the end of stream. But I would like to turn it over to my players now. Players, we are going to go in the order of Andrew, Knox, over to Ian, and then to Blair. So just keep that part in mind. But right before I do this, I keep interrupting myself. For the audience, Brindlewood Bay has this really fun mechanic where you get to sort of help story build for your fellow players. So I'm going to have my players introduce themselves and their characters. And then after they've introduced their character, everybody is going to gift that character something that they get to keep in their cozy little corner. And these are going to be resources for players to be able to use down the line if they feel like, oh man, I could really use something to kind of bolster this role. We can go ahead and toss one of those cozy little corner items into play. But I'll go ahead for real now, hand it over to Andrew to introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Andrew. My pronouns are he, him. Today I am playing Maxine Wintry. Um, uh, Man, brain, turn on. Uh, Maxine Wintry uses the pronouns she, her, and is uh, typically seen in all various assortments of tweed. Um, and uses the pseudonym to make books. The pseudonym is Max Cold. They write action books. And my maven move that I chose for this is Thomas Magnum, which, to keep simple and short, is I am a secret friend of the writer of the book series that we're all in a book club for. I think that's everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So players, if you have an idea for what Maxine would have in her cozy corner, feel free to jump in. Um, I will start in that you have a signed special edition, only version printed copy of one of the Golden Mysteries books. Um, and it is signed by with a pseudonym, but you know who the author is, and so you know who it actually was that signed it. But this is a nobody else has an edition like this, and I'll leave it to you to decide if other people know that you have this or if you've kept it very close to your chest and it's just something that you keep for yourself. Who wants to go next?
I'll join. I'll say an object that you have in your cozy little space is a beautiful letter opener that is gilded in like um, gold kind of patterning of like leaves.
Certainly will not come in handy if you have
That's
to fight
super
or
cool.
run or hide.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'll go. I think um, the first thing that popped into my head, I think you have an 18th century ink and quill that's in like pristine condition, and you've had it kind of like I don't know the actual word, history checked for lack of better terms, and you know that it is like it was made in France and somehow made its way over um, over to where we are, and you got it in like a garage sale for extremely cheap. Like this is like a priceless item, and you somehow got it in a garage sale. So it's just kind of like a desk piece that you look at and you go, I did that. That's a prize right there.
It's awesome.
All right. Okay. I think you have a like gorgeous, it's really more antique than anything, typewriter that you have and can use it and it moves just fine, but it's more for when you want to get into like the writing mindset. Like you want to set the vibes, light some candles, open a window, sit at a typewriter and just type something until an idea comes to you. It's really more for the aesthetic and the vibes, which, like, let's be honest, 90% of writing is the aesthetic and the vibes. Especially with the alt weed. This is Maxine. Like, this is how it is.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next, we will hand it over to Knox for introductions.
At least I didn't have food in my mouth this time. I was reaching for it, but it wasn't there.
I was trying to get it out while you were reaching because I was like,
I saw that motion.
For those who don't know, hi, my name is Knox. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I have a habit of eating right when Kian calls my name and making us have to stall for time. I'll be playing Irma Cortez today. Her vibes are mostly she just learned what a thrift store is, and so she decided that she could just pick all of the aesthetics, and she has. Her aesthetic is it was yellow tag day at Goodwill, and this had a yellow tag. So, and I love that for her. My Maven move is the hey, how about you have your character sheet up move? The Frank Columbo. Because I wanted to piss off rich people. And her cozy activity is crocheting. So I have a reason to do it on stream. Both Irma and I use she, her, hers pronouns. Am I missing something?
do you want to introduce your companion?
Yes, yes, I do. So, again, if you know, I try to include a cat in every one of my streams, mainly because my cat Hazel will appear and cause chaos. But this time, her name is not Hazel. I have a three-legged black cat named Pomegranate. And I'm so happy! Oh, Irma also uses like a nice, like, wooden, like, beautifully stained cane because I'm always going to give my characters a cane.
Wonderful. Thank you. Who wants to jump in?
I'll go. I got one. Irma, I think you have a um a notebook that has seen better days. It's very used. But in the notebook, it is just pages and pages of um, notes based off of um, like I'm all mine is gonna be secondhand related, but it's notes of all the best thrift stores and slash slash yard sales in the area. You have them marked by date of like when you went to them and like a ranking, like how many stars of good it is, or like if you've returned back, like it's still good. There's still gold here. Oh, it fell off. And so it's a bunch of note taking just so I mean, you have to have your your awesome thrifted wardrobe has to be peak. So, yeah, I think it is just it's a very used journal of places around town where you can get the best thrifted items. And yarn. There's a little yarn section too. That's kind of the footer. The footer is like the the best yarn shops too.
I'll go next. Um, for some reason, I want to give Irma a tarot deck. Um, I would love to give Irma a kind of like weathered tarot deck. Possibly, maybe some cards might be missing. I think it's been a while. You've used it for some time, and you probably got it from some yard sale, uh, and probably even for free. Somebody who just wanted to get rid of it, and you're like, "Bet, it's mine now." And I think, yeah, I think it's like the standard, like Smith Rider Waite traditional, like uh, symbology, if you know what that is. Um, if not, Google uh, to the audience. But yeah, a weathered tarot deck with possibly missing cards.
Um, blanking on a thing to think of here. Uh,
Do you want me to buy you some time?
sure.
Um, so how much does Irma care if the outfit actually looks good?
No, she's at that age where it's just confidence.
Wonderful.
None of it looks good. It's just confidence, and also the fuck it. I'm old.
Fair and valid of her, honestly. That's goals. Um, I would like to give Irma a pair of real silk gloves, and a real pearl necklace, a set that you found that honestly probably cost kind of a pretty penny for thrifting, but you saw it, knew it was worth it, knew that you had to have it. Whether or not you wear it or just keep it, entirely up to you.
Um, I think like so. My initial first thought, and I'm just gonna go with that one, so I don't get too lost here, was having all these different aesthetics and clothes and things. I was thinking something along the lines of like a wardrobe that's like organized by like the setting and mood that you're going with. You just like categorized outfits and that type of thing. Uh, somewhere, yeah, that was my thought. That,
Honestly,
I
we
love
love a
all of
well
these.
organized wardrobe. Like, that's my personal goal.
It makes the fact that her outfits aren't good even that much better. It's like she could, but maybe I want the top half to look like Stevie Nicks and the bottom half to look like I'm about to go to the beach.
you, you have them organized just so you can pick one from like a top and a bottom from two different like genre of clothes. Just like yes, yes.
Delightful. Well, I would like to hand it over to Ian to introduce yourself and your character.
Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they. Today, I will be playing Helen Young. She is a Southeast Asian woman, jet black hair. Her style is a lot of silk, like a lot of comfortable, rich silk, adorned in kind of like blue green-ish caftan. Um, she has like a beautiful gold jade bracelet that hasn't come off of her wrist in like years. Um, and her hair is kind of tied up neatly in a bun. Um, and her cozy activity is that she loves playing mahjong with all of her friends. And her maven move is Jonathan Hart. Um, you used to live a globe-trotting jet set life, and you still have a touch of glamour about you that will never fade. Add one to your presence, which I already did. She is I wouldn't say intimidating woman, but a woman that is not afraid to take up space and let her mind and thoughts be known about everything. Um, yeah, that is Helen Yang.
Anybody want to jump in first?
I think I think Helen has um like um like a big fan, like that's beautifully designed, very like elegant and like, but like it's like giving rich, but also like, oh, I don't want to brag about my wealth, but like you know that. So
Love
it's
it.
very simple and elegant, but like very much you can tell that like this is expensive.
I
That
love
she
it.
just carries and like uses for herself.
Um, I would like to give Helen a mahjong tile that is so worn down as a worry stone that you can't even tell what tile it was originally.
Oh my
And
gosh.
this specific, does Helen have any kids?
Yeah, she has two.
Okay. And did they have kids as well? Does she have grandkids?
Yes, I think she has grandkids that she hasn't seen in a while.
This is a tile that one of her grandkids stole from their parents' set that has gone missing.
Oh,
That they
I
gave
love
it to
that.
her to keep safe so that they wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
I was gonna kind of go down the family route too. I was thinking like you just mentioned that you maybe haven't seen, or Helen hasn't seen her grandkids in a while. So I think um, maybe in a place that Helen frequents very often, there's a picture of maybe the last time like the all the family was together. So it's everybody together and it's in a frame that's probably um, very Helen style, and probably it looks very, detailed and ornate. And it's a it's particularly in a spot that she passes very frequently and can see every day.
I love that. Thank you. I can already imagine it. It's just like one of those like wooden frames that has like been carved out in the style of like a Chinese like kind of water painting. So you
Love them.
have like a phoenix and or like, different kind of birds and it's like almost black and white and it's just like in the center of like a big hall or the place in the
Yes.
the house that you will always see no matter where you are.
Yes. Love it. Yes.
Man, those are also good.
It's okay. There's no you could give me anything. I will love it.
Uh, I was thinking about uh, the idea of having something from somewhere on this like globe setting thing as like a memory to that, but I can't figure out what I want it to be. um, yeah, it's
Do you
just
want me to choose a continent or a country for you or
uh, that might help. Yeah, actually, that could be cool.
okay, cool. Globetrotting. She's from Southeast Asia, so she's probably been to Asia before. Maybe I think one of her husbands, previous husbands, was probably from Europe. So anything from Europe, um, whether it be, the Mediterranean or wherever, or even Asia. It doesn't even have to be from Europe. Because eventually made her way to where we are in Brindlewood Bay, which is Massachusetts. So,
Okay, yeah, that's true. Uh, man, what are things that even exist? Uh, brain is not doing it. Um,
do you have a favorite cultural, archaeological thing in your life? It doesn't have to pertain to my character if you don't want it to. I will accept any gift.
um, yeah, actually, God, what is it called now? Let's see now. Um, man, not can't even. Oh, I have a fondness of abalone shells. They're really cool. Um,
Oh, wonderful.
something like that could be cool. Yeah. Um,
Abalone shells, you said.
yeah. Yeah. They're really pretty. Uh, and yeah, I think like you traveled somewhere and saw them, collected them, and it's sort of a reminder of like that time when you're going all those places that you can look to. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I will say, um, near the giant big family portrait, beneath it is kind of like an altar, like a big kind of like table, set out of different like knickknacks from her travels. And among that in the bowl, um, is abalone shells, are abalone shells, among next to like a small little like bronze statue of Athena, or another little trinket or stone from Ireland somewhere. Um, Small little knickknacks that just like litter, um, that kind of altar above, below her family portrait.
I feel like we have such a strong image of who Helen is, and it makes me so happy. Um, and it could or could not be because, as I had told you previously, she kind of reminds me of my great aunt. So this makes
It's
me.
okay. I'm pulling from some of my own ancestry too, so I feel you.
Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and hand it over to Blair for introductions.
Hi, I'm Blair underscore Canadian Moose all over the place. Pronouns are she, her, as well as Olive Emery's pronouns are she, her as well. And that's why I'm playing Olive. Um, Olive is a very tiny old lady, probably with probably very like when you think of that like an old white lady image in your head, just kind of that like really tight like white curls, has some big framed glasses, like I said, very tiny. And her style is all the cardigans. So I wore a cardigan today. She has every cardigan is oversized and looks to be like swallowing her. She's probably someone that is just always cold but isn't going to complain about it because she's got a cardigan, so it's fine. um, her cozy activity is baking. If if she traps you in a corner and can talk about baking, she will do so. She's always trying to bake some new treat. Um, but yeah, that. Oh, I forgot my Maven move. The move that I picked for her is Angus MacGyver. So basically, with that one, um, I think we switched it around to be once per session, right? Um, the rest of the cast can give me three different objects, and I can use that to kind of put together and be helpful. If I can put them together to be helpful in the situation, then I get an automatic 12 plus on a roll. So that'll be fun to see how she can do that with what y'all give her. But yeah, that's her.
Thank you so much. Who wants to jump in to give to Olive something?
I'll go. Uh, I am thinking like maybe 2 to like 3 foot, like a marble slab, because I have one that's like flat, cutting board style, and you can like pour chocolate and stuff on it to cool it and that type of thing. So it fits in with like the baking aesthetic. But then also I was thinking sometimes I just put my hands on it to like calm down in the kitchen. I'm doing stuff. So yeah, that's my
That's
thing.
I want one of those. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Do you know how much chocolate stuff I would make if I had one of those? That's awesome. I love that.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Um, this is actually gonna be because I actually have what myself. I think you have like a. Oh God, did I process what you just got? Did the ADHD come out? What was your your last one? So I make sure.
The marble slab, like You said it was also a cutting board, right, Andrew? Like you can use it as a cutting board, but also as like a pouring, like
Yeah.
for chocolate and stuff. So a multi-purpose marble slab.
Cool. I wasn't anywhere close, but my brain was like, you just ADHD too close to the sun. Anyways, I think you have a like an older cookbook um, from maybe like your grandmother, and it has like recipes that she used frequently. It's like a published cookbook, but inside there's like a little pocket, and inside of that there are recipes, like handwritten recipes that she developed herself for baked goods. Um, Totally not because I have one from my own grandmother. So I was just like, hey, that'd be a cool thing to
I
have.
have one from my grandmother too.
I
I love that. I love that
I
so much.
have my dad's mom's like handwritten peach cobbler recipe.
Yes. Yes, I was literally like that's kind of just meta. That's kind of like where I got some inspiration for this because my grandma's all about cooking and I remember cooking with her. And so I think like last Christmas I was hinting, I was like, hey, if you ever want to give me some of those recipes, and she did. She went and like bought like a thing to hand write all these recipes in. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I love that so much.
I think I'll go next. I'm stuck between two ideas. One's very practical and one's a little bit slightly different. Um, so you bake a lot. Um, can I suggest two things and you pick? Is that a cool thing to do? Is that an okay thing to do?
I'm down with it if our keeper is.
Okay. Um, the practical side is that because you bake so much, I think you deal with a lot, deal with like the kitchen and ovens and heat a lot. So I think she might have like a little fire blanket, just in case like a fire happens. So you just like throw it over, and it just like takes care of that for you. That's the practical side. Um, the other side is I think it'd be really cute if she has like tiny little vials of like herbs with her at all times, just like of spices, of lavender or cumin or mint, just like in a little small little like bandolier bag thing that it's just like tiny little vials that she just uses. So I leave it up to you of which one you would like.
I do. I love both of those. I could totally see her just kind of like, maybe her house catches on fire one too many times, so she just very chill. Is just like fire blanket, go. But I think I'm gonna go with the herbs, like the smorgasbord of herbs, just like all of those. I think that's really fun. Maybe even like some that if people were looking at them are like, what even is this? She's only used it one time, but she still has it just in case. So I love that. A very unique uh, spice and herb rack of
Yeah,
things.
I love
Fantastic.
it. Wonderful.
I love the idea that Kian's probably gonna set something on fire now and be like, y'all should have had that blanket.
Look,
Yes.
I mean, this I'm not giving you fire, but matching the energy. I'm gonna give Olive a pocket pistol. It has got one shot. The handle is pearl crusted. It is gorgeous. You've got one bullet in it, and it's a
Kian,
revolver style.
Kian, are you sure about this?
I'm
Are you sure about this?
positive. I'm absolutely positive about this. Olive can use it however she wants.
Oh my
It's got one
Wild.
bullet. It is birdshot, specifically birdshot. Um, Look, y'all,
I
I'm in
love it.
Texas. I gotta, I gotta bring in a funny Texas thing when I can because everything else sucks. So let's be real.
Oh
Um,
my god, I love that so much.
That's wild.
I feel like out of this group, she is like the least likely to have a
Yes.
little pocket pistol. So I love that she was given that. That's fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, thank y'all kindly. So mechanically, you can use those whenever you need to. Just remember that as a consequence, those items could become broken, lost, stolen, something like that. So use them as much as needed because I might take them away at any given time. So it is very, very possible. Um, with that, let us get into our actual mystery. So, the four of you are wrapping up a Murder Mavens meeting. You all have gathered together to discuss one of the recent adventures of Amanda Delacourt's. What mystery? I'll ask you, Knox. What mystery was just solved? Like, what are the vibes of the book that y'all were studying? I'm so sorry. I'll ask Ian. Knox, I'll come to you at a different time.
No, you did this, dude.
I wasn't
You can
even
have it.
looking. I'm
You can
sorry.
have it.
What was the question? I was busy chewing.
What are the vibes of the mystery that y'all were just discussing in book club?
um, the vibes. I would say the vibes were like, we'll go with like the background. We'll say it was like a nice like little like botany kind of like flowery god compilation. Every time I say cottage core, everything is cottage core. um, yeah, it was like a nice little, oh, it's like a nice little flower shop, and then oh no, a murder. Um, next to the Venus flytrap. Oh my god, somebody tried to do Little Shop of Horrors but with dead bodies. Anyways.
Um, Blair, I need to know if that already existed.
What did?
Did you just make this?
No, that
The
is
gift?
that's from Blooming in the Rot.
Okay, thank you. Because I was
You're
like,
welcome.
my God. Chat, join,
I'm
enter
not
the
that
Emporium,
fast.
and you
I
can see the
forgot.
GIF that Blair just posted. We'll share it in general chat later, but it is a cottagecore vibes GIF of Knox describing something else for a character.
Bellamy. I was describing Bellamy.
Yep.
This is so perfect. So you all were just reading this book that's got a little bit of cottagecore vibes. It's a little soft, and then realizing, oh no, this is a Little Shop of Horrors. Whatever this person had planned did not go well. Um, Ian, I'll ask you, as the camera kind of pans around this space, what shows how the space that you all meet, which is the top floor of the Candlelight Booksellers, what makes this space and indicates that it's one of the coziest places in the entire city?
Oh, I think, first of all, there's no overhead lighting because that kills the vibe. Second of all, it is giant circular carpet, um, kind of a little old but beautiful intricacies on it, very plush. Um, and it's a circular table in the center, uh, wood of maple, something dark. And around that table, it's chairs that are upholstered, um, that are super plushy and kind of like a red tinge. And around the center table, there may be side tables with like different lamps and then like scarves draped on top of the lamps. So it's not as bright as you think it is, and it's different kind of colored scarves. And in this space too, there are windows, I think, that kind of like overlook out into the rest of the town. So if you're sitting in the center, you can see like further out on the second floor, down the street, or maybe even like further into down the road, to other buildings, or like maybe there's like a clock tower somewhere. And finally, I think the last little bit of touch is like there's a fireplace, just like just on the one big wall of this space, a fireplace that's kind of crackling, embers still burning, and maybe the window is just like open a little bit and there's like a breeze that pulls through, salty air of like Massachusetts coastal vibes.
I want to be there so badly. Um, it sounds so perfect. And I love that you mentioned the windows where you can kind of see out into a distance and pretty far out, hard to tell except for the very rhythmic circle. You do notice the lighthouse that indicates another city farther down that will be. getting to shortly. But before that, as you all are gathering up your things, a younger person comes upstairs, and you know this to be Janet Flock, who owns the bookshop. Um, and she comes upstairs, kind of knocks gently on the door. I hope I'm not interrupting, but I wanted to show you all something if you have time.
Oh, Janet, it's so late now. Are you sure you cannot wait until tomorrow?
Uh, it's kind of important, Helen. I'm sorry.
Everything is important. It's okay. It's okay. I can take a time out of my day to come see you. Why is it so important, huh?
Uh, Janet walks forward holding a newspaper, um, goes toward that center circular table, places it down, and you all would see on the headline, um, Lighthouse Keeper Falls to Death. And it's a picture of that lighthouse that you see in the distance that kind of overlooks Brindlewood Bay, and she places it down. There was, well, you can see. His name was Cyrus Creel, and Cyrus, I don't. They're saying that he fell, but if you read through it, people are saying that it wasn't a fall. That maybe he was pushed. And I mean, he was on this lighthouse every single day. I don't really know how he could have fallen. That's kind of, he knew where all the steps were, where this railing was loose. He knew everything about the lighthouse. And I know that you all have solved a couple of mysteries before and helped out Brindlewood Bay before, and I know that Mucky Point isn't exactly the best place to go, but um, I wanted to see if maybe you all could look into this.
Oh my goodness. I guess. What do you think, girls? I'm sure we could take some time out of our busy schedules to maybe come and see, if this person really, really was pushed or something inconspicuous happened. Flips through the article. Does it say anything in
You
particular?
You do indeed see, I won't make you roll for this. You can see that there are quotes where people are saying exactly what Janet has said. There's no way that Cyrus would fall. Cyrus was so experienced. It indicates that he was keeper of this lighthouse for over 50 years. And every single day he maintained this lighthouse. It was pristine. It was absolutely perfect. There was never a day that anything went wrong. Um, Cyrus kept the lighthouse alone, never married, no kids. He was, let me do some math, we'll say that he was about 70, 75 when he died. So started keeping the lighthouse at about 20, 25 years old, and basically found his calling there. Was pretty satisfied to be kind of a recluse and remove himself from the general existence of Mucky Point. Um, some people comment on being part of the community and being the ones to bring him groceries and run errands for him so that he never had to leave the lighthouse. This was truly where he wanted to spend all of his time.
Oh, yeah, poor thing. I didn't realize, that being a lighthouse keeper was such a dangerous job. But I don't mind going on an adventure if you guys want to. Shifts the paper to um, Irma next to me. What do you think?
I think that uh, I think Irma's also gonna flip through it, even listening. And go, I think it wouldn't hurt to at least look at it for a little bit. I mean, you can't make it worse.
That's true. If you did, you did, I guess.
Yeah. Well, oh, I didn't mean it like that. That's a good point. I
Oh, but it's real life, These things happen.
can't get deader.
That's true.
That's true. I was more thinking like we've solved things before that have been overlooked in a
Yes.
way. So wouldn't hurt to have another pair of eyes on it. And Jeopardy's not on for another 30 minutes, so I have time. I
Oh,
have it.
you want to go now?
Well, I mean, we could also sleep.
Yeah, I like
I
that part.
recorded.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe we go tomorrow. How about that?
works. What do you two think?
Yeah.
I think Olive is like kind of over your shoulder, Irma, and moving her glasses like forward and back, but like getting pretty close to it to see, and is gonna look up, still kind of moving them, and be like, um, Miss Janet, what shoes was he wearing?
Um, oh, I'm not sure. I mean, I know that he wore these like pretty solid rain boots that he wasn't supposed to slip in just to be safe. I don't know the
Interesting.
brand. I can try to find out.
Th- That that's a little excessive, Miss Janet, but we'll find out. We'll find out. And she's gonna pick up. I think Olive brought. Of course, Olive brought snacks for our murder mystery book club. She brought a blackberry and lemon tart. That is, it's like a very um, warm kind of maroon color on top, perfectly circular with these like candied fruits on like a kind of that make a crescent moon on the top of it. That it looks gorgeous, and there's probably I would say we probably there's at least half, if not 75% left. But she because it's a decent sized chart, it's big. But she did bring napkins with it, so she's picked up a napkin and has started to write like rain boots that normally wears maybe uh, brand unknown, and is just like taking these notes down while like right shift glasses and stuff like that.
Make
Like
sure maybe when we go tomorrow we can see if he was wearing Adidas. Because I know that brand is very very good. Very good kind of brand.
I look,
Um,
I have mine on right now, and she's gonna
oh
put.
yes,
She's wearing the worst looking Adidas. Those they're just pure white with like the stripe. They just are chunky and stuff. It's like I love Adidas as well. They're
I
very
know they are the brand to wear everywhere you go. It's always make sure you get Adidas. Anyways, what about you, Maxine? Do you have any thoughts on if you want to go
Uh,
tomorrow? Or...
I'd be okay going tomorrow. I think Maxine is like looking over the top of a book that they've just been jotting all the information everyone's saying down in this book, uh, and then they look over uh, and they're like packing up a whiteboard that they write their like talking points on for the book club meetings. And so they've just been kind of focusing on packing things up and taking notes as they hear things. Kind of, yeah, that's the, yeah.
I'm curious, Andrew, just because I'm nosy. Does Maxine take notes just on what could be clues, or is she also writing down things like Adidas, good brand of shoes, and kind of just taking notes on the people as well?
Just everything everyone says. It's a,
Okay.
yeah, it's a writing thing that Maxine has adopted of just like someone said something interesting that I find that I could use somewhere, and it just keeps those notes in this book.
I love that so much. Um, Janet, as you're all slowly agreeing to this, is looking a little bit more elated. Thank you all so much. Cyrus was a family friend, and it really means a lot to know that all of you will be looking in. And I'm sure certain that Constable Deshane would be very appreciative of your help. Um, I know that the other constables here have been very grateful. That's not true. You all know that's not true. And the constables do not make that a secret at all. Janet knows better. Um, and I know that Mucky Point isn't far, so um, thank you again. And of course, I'm sorry for interrupting the meeting.
No, don't be sorry. If it's someone close to you, I'm so sorry that this person has passed. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, he was pretty old. Um,
I mean, I'm pretty
Celeste,
old, so but you can still
well,
you have good feelings and
I would I
relationship.
I would be really sad if you died too, Helen, to be
Oh,
clear.
thank you.
Um, but um, it was less so the timing and more so how it happened. I mean, it
Of
was
course.
sudden and he was in such good health. Um, so yeah. But really, I'll be downstairs and let me know when you're
Okay.
done and I'll lock up.
You want some of this tart? I offer Olive's tart, part of it, without consent confirming with Olive at all. You want to take some with you?
That's okay.
Sure. Yeah. Take some. She will cut a piece of the tart and wrap it in a napkin and give it to her, even if she says no. And say, it's okay. You take this home, you go and warm it up, and then you eat it. You feel better, okay?
Uh, thanks, Helen. I
Of
appreciate it.
course.
And
Yeah.
this is something Janet is used to. All of you insisting that she eat. Helen probably being the first one to do so, but at one point or another, everyone has insisted. Please take this. Please make sure that you eat something good. Um, Janet heads back downstairs. You all know that she lets the bookshop stay open just for the four of you to have this book club meeting so that it's not busy when you come in. It's quiet. You all can really focus on your conversation without the noise of downstairs being super busy. So you all are the only ones in the bookshop. You've all agreed to go tomorrow. Is there anything that you all do before heading home for the night?
Not that I can think of
Okay.
currently,
Would
unless. Hmm,
I was just gonna see if any of us would have known Cyrus
Um,
or had have met him at least.
so likely not, only in that um, the relationship between residents of Mucky Point and residents of Brindlewood Bay is not great. Um, and you all would know this. Essentially, Mucky Point wanted to make itself a major tourism spot, and Brindlewood Bay kind of stole that from them, and members of the tourism committee in Brindlewood Bay made sure that Brindlewood Bay got it over Mucky Point. So it's not exactly a friendly thing. I would say that the most and the closest that it would have gotten is Helen, if you had ever departed from Mucky Point, then you perhaps would have known of Cyrus as being the lighthouse keeper, but not an
uh,
interaction really.
yeah, I think since Helen has traveled a bit, she knows of the space and probably has maybe been into Mucky Point,
Mucky Point.
uh, for like maybe like passing through moments. It's not gonna be a long stay or of any kind.
Mhm.
Since it's so close, I feel like things that are close to you where you live, you tend to always be like, I'll go there one day, and you never go, you
Yeah.
know. Um, so it's very much that vibe I think she has with that place.
So yeah, not necessarily, definitely not familiar with Cyrus. Perhaps Helen being aware of him, but never really interacted with him before. Anything else that y'all would like to do before the evening ends?
I
Okay.
think Helen just stands and goes, "Well, uh, how are we getting there tomorrow? Somebody driving? I can drive.
That sounds good.
I
Okay.
don't have a car. Or
You
did I
still
have a
don't have a
car?
car?
I don't think I had a car. I think I
I,
met
I
I
thought you
had
bought
like
that one car already. Did you sell it already? Or was it not working? I told you should get the engine check. You should let my guy check it for you.
I might have let my kids borrow it. I don't.
You let your
It's
kid
not in the
children
it's
Your
not in the
children grown
driveway.
already, lo. Why you let them use your car and now they don't give you your car? You are
They'll
the
bring
mother.
it back. They'll bring it back.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Okay,
I
okay.
can walk. It's totally okay. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
Okay. I come pick you all up tomorrow, okay? Okay.
You all head home for the evening to your respective homes. It's a quiet evening. There is nothing, super outlandish that happens. I'm sure that all of you have a copy of the paper that you're looking over. See if you can glean anything else about Cyrus Creel. Um, you, Helen, wake up first, um, getting ready to go and pick everybody up. Can you describe Helen's home for us?
Yeah. It is pristinely clean. It is neat. There is no dust anywhere in her space. And everything has a purpose and a point to it. And if you enter that space and you shift anything out of space, it will be shifted back in time. Or you might get chastised and saying, "Why did you move that? It should be over here." Um, it is a beautiful kind of hardwood floor, kind of old cottage. Everything inside, you'll see different kind of like watercolor Chinese paintings hanging, and different symbols kind of like posted, Chinese like sayings and of blessings for the new year, like above the door and on the sides of the door as well. And then there's like a lunar calendar, when like the next Chinese New Year is gonna come around or Lunar New Year is gonna come around. There's like ornate vases, um, of like beautiful flowers and koi fish, kind of like carved. Painted into that vase, and it's really big, and it holds like uh, random kind of like pole sticks in it, just to have an illusion of plant. There's a cozy little like tea set somewhere, I'm sure, and everything else is just kind of wooden carved chairs, and of course a mahjong table in like the living room centered. Um, and yeah, as you kind of like walk through, you'll see from the entrance like the big centerpiece of like her family, and then the table with all the different knickknacks of her travels, and the abalone shells there as well. Um, I don't think it's two stories. I think it's one. As you get older, I think it gets harder to climb things, even though she will insist on climbing, and that she will insist on her youth, I think. Um, and as she wakes up in the morning, she rises with the sun. She does a little Tai Chi, centers her breathing, her back facing um, the east so that the sun is on it. And she does slow breathings with it as she gets about her day. Um, Takes one of those like beautiful scarves that she has, like wraps it around her head, and has those like sunglasses ready to like drive like a convertible down like the coastal seaside or something like that, and grabs her fan with her as well.
I love it. Who do you go and pick up first?
Um, I think we will go and pick up Olive first, because she's so concerned that Olive doesn't have a car, and now that her children has taken it, how is she going to get around town? So she needs to insist that Olive like is taken care of first. Um, so yeah, she'll she'll head there.
Helen, you drive over to pick up Olive. Olive, what are you baking this morning?
Thanks for knowing that that's what Olive would already be doing because I was going to say it anyway. Um, so Olive has what time what time is Olive getting picked up? I'm just curious.
I think, I don't know. Helen's a pretty early riser, so she might come pick you up at like I don't know, 7,
Okay,
8. If
perfect.
if if you are like really like an early riser like her, like she woke up when dawn hit.
Perfect.
So
Yes, Olive has been awake since 5 a.m. and this morning, Olive, and you'll see as you kind of like, if you like honk the horn to get Olive to come out, um, Olive is just shuffling along with a tray of spiced orange Chelsea buns that look like they kind of look like cinnamon rolls, but they look as if they have some kind of like filling on the inside and then a little bit of that like icing over it. And they're in this just like big tray, and they're big. They're about like this big, and she made a whole tray of them for the four of us. And again, probably Mm, no, probably it still brought some like paper napkins. I was gonna see if she was gonna bring cloth, but for a road trip like this, probably not cloth. But she'll have some more napkins. Her purse is kind of over one arm, and she's just carrying it and just kind of shuffling along to the car.
Olive, what do you have in there in your delicious basket?
Breakfast.
Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Come, 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 come. Let me see. Let me see.
Everyone is required to have at least two because I made a number of them.
Oh, Olive,
And
but my doctor said I cannot have too much, too much sugar.
shh,
It's
be
okay, I
quiet.
won't tell.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, and I think Olive will jump in like the passenger seat, like in the front, and just puts it on her lap, and out of her purse pulls out just like a butter knife. Won't be like a real knife, but it's just gonna go ahead and start like separating them, like cutting them, and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to cut these before I got to the car, but
Oh,
I."
it's okay. Just make sure you put the towel underneath. You don't want to get the crumb on the seat. These are very
Oh,
expensive.
wow,
And
you
she
do.
like points out like the passenger seat you're in that still kind of has some plastic kind of on it, just to make sure that no dirt will ever touch this car.
You keep this really clean, Helen. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. I'm not surprised, but I won't get anything on it. I
Okay, cool,
promise.
cool.
I promise.
It's okay. Let's go. She kicks it into gear. I want to say she drives a stick shift for some reason. Um, and goes at it.
Where are you headed next?
I think next we're gonna go and pick up Maxine.
So, Maxine, you hear Helen with Olive in the car pull up outside of your house. What is Maxine wearing today?
Uh, it's an olive like tweed jacket with these like almost gold brown patches on the elbows, and just some black slacks and some really shiny black shoes. Um, yeah, I think Maxine has been dressed probably for like a good hour now, expecting it to be really early, um, and has just been sort of lounging in a chair in the living room, writing something in a book.
Helen, do you go knock on the door or Olive, or do you just honk?
I think as we get there, it might be a similar thing. Very mean girl style Regina George. Honk honk, get in bitch, we're going shopping. Um, so she will drive up to whatever driveway you have, honk, and be like, Maxine, we're here. Are you ready? If you don't come out within like the next minute, she will go to your door.
Um, I think Maxine looks and notices the wall safe is open, where Maxine has like pulled this journal that she's been writing in out of, and walks over and goes to close it. And I think glimpsing in there, there's a picture of her and Robin Masterson, and a book that you can only see like the side of, and like the pages are that gold color. It closes it and locks it, and walks out of the door.
Oh, you look so sharp. Oh my goodness, look at you. I love it. I love the pants and everything.
Gotta look the part.
Ah, that is so true. That's so true. That's why I like you. Everything is always like so precise, so put together. Hmm. Oh, uh, Olive has some treats for us.
Are you hungry?
Maxine will take. take one
Yes.
and sit in the back seat and sort of drape a napkin underneath it.
Okay, ready? Let's go. She like fully goes into the gear again.
And you head over to pick up Irma. Irma, my question for you: what is your morning routine with pomegranate?
Oh, pomegranate probably wakes up like curled up next to me, and we just cuddle for a bit before it's like I give her like some taps on the head, and it's time for us to, I help her off the bed, and I go and I make sure to give her her food, and we play with some cat toys for a bit because I want to make sure she's getting all the exercise she can. Um, and we probably just like curl up together. I read a book out loud to her. Um, so she's also like a little murder maven because she's also read the entire series that I totally remember the name of by the author that I remember the name of. Um, and um, we just we just make sure to spend a bunch of time together and give her lots of scritches, but I also make sure like um we keep up on our vet appointments, and I make sure like check the calendar like is it time for her physical no, that's next month. Okay. And I make sure to give her wet food for at least one meal a day. So that's usually her morning meal is the wet food. Because that's the thing we should do for all cats, because all cats needs more hydration, and that you should, if you have giving your cat just dry food, you should try to mix in extra water because cats do not hydrate nearly as much as they need to, and that could cause health problems. This has been a PSA. And um, but it's mainly just lots of love and lots of exercise, and also the cat likes routine, so she likes being knowing this is when my water gets changed. She has one of those like flowing water. I've talked to her like 5 minutes about a cat. That's it. You got me monologue.
We had to know pomegranate is an integral part of this of the experience. Um, you and as is Hazel of this stream. Helen, you pull up and I'm guessing honk once again for Irma to come and join the group. So Irma, you're sitting inside and you hear some honking out front after the revving of an engine coming around the block and stopping in front of your house.
Okay, pomegranate. You have fans on, so you shouldn't get too hot. I've left your cartoons on. Um, I know a person who did that. I left your cartoons on. I'll come back. I'll make sure to be home by 8 o'clock so I can take you on our nightly walk, and then um, oh, lunch. I should be home for lunch. We'll have chicken for lunch. Okay. I love you. Mhm. Okay. Enjoy your shows. And then I'll like,
Irma, Irma, are you
I
ready?
give me a second. I'll be right out there.
Okay, it's okay. Pomegranate will be there. If you want to take her, you can take her also.
I'm not taking my cat to a
I
crime
mean,
scene.
I don't know. She comes with you a lot at different places. I don't know if you want to, just have a new adventure.
Do you want to go to the crime scene? Okay, 1 second. And I
Okay.
put like a little harness on her. Make sure it's extra secured. And then get like the little leash, and it has like little like it's like she got somebody to design it custom made, so it has like pomegranates on the like harness and the leash. Um, and she has like also like a little bag where she starts putting in like all the stuff you need for when you take a cat on a walk, and then like another little carrier in case she gets tired, and she just picks her up. She's like, "Hey, okay, let's go," and she just walks out like this. Hey,
Yeah.
don't honk! I have a phone. You can text me.
Okay. Sorry. Sometimes, the phone is just a little too cumbersome for me. I
I
just like to, just be there, say hello, then goodbye. Very simple to the point. Don't need the extra type, 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 type. No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
then
no.
knock, 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 knock.
Okay, that's why I'm honking. It's okay.
No, honking is peaceful mornings. Start the rest of the day, right? Okay.
Okay, okay, sorry,
She
sorry.
has anxiety.
Okay, it's okay. I had the special basket for her in there, and you see, she'll go to the trunk. I think we've been friends in long enough that like this is not the first time we've done this, and she'll
Mhm.
take out like one of those like pet. I'm not a cat owner, so correct me, please. But one of those beds for like animals that it's like really comfortable for them to like kind of snuggle in.
Um, I imagine that Irma is very appreciative, snags one of those or snags the basket from you, sets it up. I'm picturing the ones, I'm a dog parent, not a cat parent, so I may be wrong, but I'm picturing the ones that you can like buckle in into the
The seatbelt.
into the seatbelt. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
chat. Just in case chat is curious, Hazel turned off the computer. Um, in a phenomenal move that nobody expected.
Okay,
Um,
so I was like, who is this pomegranate that you're talking about?
just
Who is it?
straight up.
Too much anxiety. I put too much energy out there.
So Knox will be rejoining us momentarily. Um, you, all of you get together, and is there anything that you would do before heading out to Mucky Point?
I think Olive is gonna cut once pomegranate's situated. Olive's gonna cut uh, Irma a, a Chelsea bun and just look at everyone and say, and just to make sure we have a little pep in our step, there is some brandy in this. So good
Oh,
morning.
good you shouldn't have. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Nibbles on it a little, but then like when thinks you're not looking, scarfs it down.
She's gonna
And
put these in like a prime spot where like somewhere in the car where anybody can like she wanted to serve the first one to everybody, but now that everyone's been served, they're open. I mean, they're covered, but they're there where everyone can grab more. Because like I said, there's probably let me look at this picture I posted. Yeah, there's 12. So if we just ate four, there's still plenty left for everybody to have more. So she'll leave them in a spot where they're grabbable.
Um, we shared with chat what happened to Knox. That Hazel moved in a stealth move and turned off the computer. Um, but rest assured that you have your own little piece of wait, what are these called? It's
Chelsea
spice
buns.
Chelsea,
Yes.
Chelsea buns. You have a piece of
Spice.
the Chelsea buns. All of you are getting ready and heading out to Mucky Point. It's not a far drive. It's probably about an hour, so not a terribly long time. Um, the drive itself is pretty quiet, but the closer you get to Mucky Point, the foggier it is. It kind of starts to smell a little bit like a harbor, the way that a harbor does. Um, there is, yes, it was Brindlewood Bay's fault that Mucky Point did not become this big tourist trap, tourist spot. Um, but also it's kind of Mucky Point's fault that it didn't become that. So it's not exactly the most appealing place to be. Um, but you pull up to Mucky Point. Um, as you're driving in, to the east is the lighthouse itself, and you can see that the light is still rotating. So somebody is maintaining it, thankfully, continues to provide that guidance. At the base of the lighthouse, there's a small shack that is used by the lighthouse keepers for storage and for lodging. And then Mucky Point proper is a single thoroughfare. This is a one stoplight town. The businesses along the sides are the Golden Bull Roadhouse, Deshane's Gas and Sundries, the Mucky Point Lighthouse Museum, and Codswallop's Bait and Tackle. And I will provide that for y'all if you didn't catch them. So no worries. But this is it's a pretty, the layout of this town is very straightforward. You drive through the thoroughfare to the east is going to be the lighthouse. There's going to be that little lodge. And then once you have passed the last business, you have passed Mucky Point. There's not a whole lot going on here. Um, I would like to ask Andrew. Mucky Pointers are rumored to have a strange physical characteristic that they all share. What have you heard?
That is interesting. Strange physical characteristic. All the monkey people. Um, yeah. I'm thinking like a like. Now that just sounds creepy, but I'll take it. I think they all have very similar eye color, um, and and it's not that like having the eye color is strange. It's that all of them have the same eye color.
What color is it?
I, I'm thinking like an almost gold, like like green but almost gold, in that range there.
Um, these beautiful eyes that you see on the first person and you're like, wow, they have gorgeous eyes. And then you see the next person and you're like, wow, they have gorgeous eyes too. And by the third, you're kind of getting unnerved that everybody seems to have these very gorgeous eyes. Um, you all pull into Mucky Point. You find parking on the street. It's pretty barren. There are not a lot of other cars there, and so Helen, your car kind of stands out for how clean it is, um, how organized. Everything else is a working car. It's trucks, it's jeeps if needed, and then there is Helen's car. Helen, what car do you drive?
I was gonna make it super bougie. I was gonna say it's a red Porsche,
Oh,
like convertible.
beautiful,
Like if we wanted it to be a convertible, it could be, you know. Um,
wonderful.
Does it have a
yeah.
custom license plate?
Oh yeah, of course. Custom license plate. Uh, I don't know what it'll say. I think it'll just be I don't know. Ooh. Uh, I think it'll just say fortune. Like I think in whatever way it is, it'll just say fortune because I think in her brain that's her favorite mahjong tile. Um, and so she just put it on the custom license plate there.
Um, you park this bright red Porsche next to it's next to a clearly weathered, well used, well loved two-door truck. And then a little bit farther down is a Jeep with no doors on it. Clearly also covered in mud. This is a Jeep that has seen some excitement. Um, but you park it there, and as you all are getting out of the car, you hear somebody clear their throat behind you, and you turn to look and you see somebody in a constable's uniform. And this man does not look too pleased to have you all getting out of the car in his town. And I think that that is a perfect place for us to take our break for the evening. So I want everybody to stretch your legs, take a breather, go ahead and pet some pets if you need to, take a bio break. We will be back in about 10 minutes. So sit tight and you will see us again soon. one. And welcome back, everybody. Nox still has Dr. Pepper, but has also acquired water, which is an important fact to consider and be aware of. Don't forget that we do have a hydrate regime for points in the chat to make sure that we are all staying hydrated because it's
It's the only
important.
way I'll do it.
So please, somebody please redeem points for hydrate.
Only way.
um, we had just left off where all of you were getting out of the car in Mucky Point, and there was a constable who was greeting all of you, looked very displeased. Walks up, stands with his arms kind of shoulder, or with his legs kind of shoulder spread, crosses his arms. Thank you, Sin, for the hydrate redeem. Everybody take a sip.
Sometimes it be your own partner.
Sometimes they be the ones.
I'm drinking the condensation from the
That
coffee.
counts. That counts.
It's the water.
That's true.
It is
It
water.
was, I think it was Diet Coke, but now it's
Oh.
water.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's water now. It's fine.
It wasn't the very intensely caffeinated lemonade, so you know what? We'll call it a win.
I want to try one of those so bad. I
So do
really
I.
do, but people told me not to. They were like, "Don't. It's
But
dangerous."
also, I'm on Dr. Pepper number 3 now.
Very impressive. Um, so you all are standing there, getting out of the car. The constable approaches, stands with his legs about shoulder width apart, crosses his arms, um, looks a little upset. C- can I help any of you?
Is something wrong, officer? Can I not park here? Are you? Why are you so upset?
Well, it's just a fancy car to have,
Fancy car.
driving through here. And you all came
What's
from the
wrong with?
direction of Brindlewood Bay, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are all facts. They are correct. The fancy car is here. It is my car. My name is Helen. Very nice to meet you. Um, Me and my friends are just looking around the town here. Uh, we heard that Maki Point is has such a quaint atmosphere here. So we just wanted to take in the view.
yeah, I'm sure. What are you really
Okay.
here for?
The lighthouse.
Whips my head directly in Irma's direction. And like stares at you and trying to like communicate through the eyes of like don't give away everything.
It's a scenic view. We wanted to see all the scenic views on the trip.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We I you know
I wanted to
I
take a walk.
Yes, yes. We wanted to take, Irma loves lighthouses, and so does her cat, uh, not Persephone, Pomegranate.
So, I'm sure Janet sent you up here, or maybe Steven reached out to you and asked you to come. Look, I don't know what it is that you all are doing here and why you're interested in Cyrus's death, but there's nothing hinky about it. There's nothing weird going on. The man fell. It happens. We can move it right along.
Oh, I see. Well, then you wouldn't mind, just some sightseeing from four little old ladies here, we don't really cause that much trouble. Do we, girls?
Um,
And then turns to the other two.
If I was going to be investigating anything, would I bring a cat on a harness?
I don't know. You folks from Brindlewood Bay are pretty weird.
Okay, there's a lot of hatred towards people from Brindlewood Bay in this atmosphere, and I'm not really vibing with it right now. This is tarot cards say you're a bitch.
Oh, she didn't mean that, officer. She didn't mean that. She just got into the new spiritualism thing. She just saw it at a garage sale, and then she just thought, oh, it would be very fun to pull cards and tell people their fortune.
Helen, go ahead and roll me presence. This is a day move. So if
Okay.
you fail this roll, what are you afraid of that will happen? You're trying to convince this officer to trust you at least enough to let you go on your way.
I'm afraid he's gonna boot my car. Like, I'm afraid that if we leave here at this point, we don't have like, I think legally in my mind he doesn't really have cause to like arrest us on the spot. We haven't done anything. We just showed up. But if we leave, my car is not coming with us. We got to go to the lighthouse. So I think he's going to do anything in his power to kind of just be a little bit in our way and irritating and just like boot it just cuz he's like, you're weird, it's expensive, and the expensive thing shouldn't be here. um, so
I
I'm
think
gonna roll.
that's a very fair concern. You would know, Helen would know that in a small town like this, the rules are a little gray, the laws are a little gray.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll 2d6 and add your present stat.
Okay. Go dice. Okay. Add my presence. Luckily, I have a +2 in presence because that's a 5 in total plus 2, so 7. I think that still kind of does a little bit.
It does, it does. So it's not an immediate fail. What
Okay.
happens is I can tell you and I'll describe to you what will happen if you decide to push through. You get to
Okay.
decide, are you going to do that or are you going to retcon and we're going to figure out a different way out of this?
Okay.
Um, if you push through, this police officer is not pleased with you being here and will likely boot your car and will likely also follow you to investigate what you're doing. So will continue to be a hindrance. So if you want to push through, you can, but know that that's going to happen.
Ooh. Do I want to do it this early? We just started. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm nervous. Uh I think I like taking risks. Why not? Let's take the risk and push through and see what
Okay.
happens.
This police officer looks very unsettled. Kind of leans over, notes the custom license plate on this bright red Porsche, makes it a little easier to spot. Stands back up. Well, if you're just here for tourism, I'm sure you won't mind if I, follow along and make sure that you get to where you're going nice and easy. Some women such as yourselves don't want you to slip on the rocks. It's been foggy all day.
Oh, I mean, you don't really have to, we are very capable.
Please, ma'am, I insist.
Okay, thank you for insisting. You are doing such a good job. I appreciate it so much. What's your name again?
Alvin. Alvin Deshane. I'm the
Alvin
constable
Deschain.
here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I thank you so much, Alvin Deschain. I will keep track. Uh, and she kind of walks towards the group and does a weird like whisper huddle of like, I guess he's following us now. I don't know what's going to happen. Should we just go?
I think Olive is gonna say, "One second, let me help," and she's gonna turn around with her tray of Chelsea buns. It's gonna be like, "If you follow us, you have to promise to have breakfast, young man," and is going to like shove the tray in his like hands and leave it with him to like
Oh,
have the tray.
kind of looks around, tries to see if there's a surface. Obviously, there isn't one.
I need you to eat at least one of each particular kind. So I need one from the middle, one from the corner, and one from the edge. You know, they bake differently on the tray there. So if you could tell me how
Oh,
they are different from each one and then rank them, which one
ma'am,
you like the best. And then that is an adequate breakfast
I,
so that you have enough energy to follow us.
oh,
We are very active. We're very active. And we're going to the lighthouse. Where else are we going, ladies? We're going to the lighthouse and we're going to
Oh,
The
we
the
have to see the
beach.
museum, the
the
the the
museum. We're
the
going
the
to the
lighthouse, the
museum.
museum, the shack. I heard there's a very good shack there. but the lighthouse, you
And
know?
there's a cozy little diner somewhere nearby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have to have lunch too. We already have one.
Mhm. We
Um,
had breakfast.
we had breakfast, but then lunch is at the restaurant, the Roadhouse. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Um,
Maxine, darling, didn't you want to go somewhere?
Uh,
She'll find it out
mm,
on the way.
yeah.
We have at least 7 places we wanted to go, so you need enough energy to keep up with us.
And
I
Pomegranate and I are very spry.
okay. I would say that you have effectively bamboozled this constable,
If
Olive.
he's gonna join us, he's gonna deal with us, okay? That's the energy I'm creating in the room.
If you can't handle us at our worst, you can't handle us at our
Yes.
best.
Yes. That's the motto we live by. We have shirts.
Um, I love it. This constable looks very flustered holding this tray. But well, the lighthouse is this way unless you wanted to stop somewhere else first, or
Oh, it's best to get the steps taken care of first. Well, you
Lighthouse
still have the
first.
energy in the day.
of course, these I'm sure give plenty of energy. Um,
There's
and
napkins for you to write your notes down too.
oh, thank you. Uh, excuse me, carrying this tray kind of sidesteps down some stairs. It's a pretty long stair path that kind of curves around to get to the base of the White House. It's all inset stone, but continues to work his way down, holding this tray. Um,
And Olive's gonna make sure he's carrying that tray the whole time, cause she's not gonna carry it again,
And he has to be eating them.
and he has to be eating them.
you see him kind of hold the tray up and bring it up toward his face, and he looks all at you, and I'm sure Olive is staring at him at least, and he slowly just bites out of the corner one, nods. The brandy hits, and he kind of
With that look, Olive's just gonna go. Shh.
um
Because we're not gonna tell the constable that there's brandy in it, but he knows.
for all of this, I love the way that you have gone about this. Olive, as you are walking down these steps, you notice that there's a patch that seems a little bit slicker than the rest. And you look down, and it seems a little bit interesting. Go ahead and roll me meddling. This is just going to be 2d6 straight.
2d6 straight. Okay. I'm gonna go with the green to the two green ones. Meddling, 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 meddling. That is a 10.
Wonderful. Um, you have discovered a clue, your first clue, even though you weren't even looking for it, because I love how you have gone about this. You find a slick substance, appears to be soapy water, spread on a precarious surface.
Ooh. Okay. Here, wait, let me make sure I get that down. Okay. Oh, clue number 1. I have to take my own notes. So you said slick substance,
Here.
it's like soapy water. Oh, you're gonna
Yeah.
send it in the
Yeah,
thing.
I dropped it in chat to make it easy because
Thank you.
I didn't say it in a very clear way. But yes, you have found you notice that there is some weird soapy water as you're walking and kind of taking these steps. What do you do?
Is it on like the way, like, are we like close to like waves crashing in, or is this still like a little bit further back?
This is so the angle that you're coming from, you are approaching to where the lighthouse would be between you and the ocean. So the
Okay.
stairs are on the backside of the lighthouse, so it's pretty far away from where the waves are.
So is it kind of interesting that there's water back here?
It's interesting, not necessarily that there's water, but that it would be soapy water. These are not, it doesn't look like this is a space that's cleaned very often. It doesn't look like there's any reason that somebody would have been putting soap out on these steps.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do the first thing that came to my mind, And I think Olive is gonna go over to this, and just to make sure she can identify it properly, I think is gonna do like a little like finger dip and like lick, because you can identify soap. Like it's very easy to identify soap real fast that way. And I think she's just gonna be like and make some like like funny face. Just be like, Constable, has anybody been cleaning around here?
Mouth half full with one of these snacks. Ma'am, why would anybody be cleaning? Do you see where we are?
That's my question. This is soap. Why would there be soap?
Uh, I wish that I could tell you. We might need to ask Steven when we get to the lighthouse.
Okay. I just thought it was interesting. It looked a little bubbly around the rock edges. But yes, I can confirm. It's soap.
Um, it is absolutely fabuloso. That's what it smells like.
Yum, it smells awesome.
Because of course, what else would it smell like?
I love That's what our trash bags smell like right now, and I love it.
That's wonderful.
Walmart.
You all continue down these steps toward the lighthouse. Um, as you approach the lighthouse, you get the sensation of your stomach kind of dropping, as though you're going down a roller coaster. It feels too quiet here. Um, what evidence here? This is a paint the scene question, so anybody can answer. What evidence here suggests the lighthouse keepers through the years have had strange beliefs?
I I think maybe we see like a mixture of iconographies as we start going up the lighthouse, as if people with different belief systems and different like not even maybe necessarily belief systems, but like superstitions and such. Um, that sometimes like conflate, like they're or not conflate.
Conflict.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Conflict with each other, and it's giving. If you've seen the Mummy, when Benny has the necklace, he's just going through them all.
That is my
Um,
favorite movie of all time. Thank you. I'm so glad you mentioned it.
I will talk about the Mummy any day. Uh, but he's like going through. It feels like people like as you go up the lighthouse have done that.
Um, you see what starts out as religious iconography that all of you could recognize. Um, and then it looks interesting. It almost looks like somebody kind of forgot what the iconography was. And they were trying to draw it from memory, but they couldn't quite remember exactly what it was. And it starts to devolve as you go. Um, you walk into the lighthouse. It is a newer lighthouse, and so it is made of metal. It's not stone. Um, there is a spiral staircase that leads all the way to the top if you should so choose. But you are gathered in this circular room on the first floor. You can see the remains of police tape that seem to have been tied to the stairwell, and a suspicious looking stain in a corner. In a circular room, off to one side, in this room. What do you do?
I think the stain would catch Helen's eyes as she's one to be rid of them typically. Um, Seeing that maybe the constable is held up and seeing the stain immediately, I think she'll try to go there immediately and just like inspect it if it's possible.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me. Well, how do you go about inspecting this?
Let's see. Do I have any items that help me out? No, they're very very sentimental items. Um, you know what? To not draw like too much, to kind of like how magicians do like a weird like sleight of hand to draw your eye away from something that you don't want them to see what you're doing. I
Hmm.
think she takes out like the her large like elegant fan immediately and just like kind of starts fanning herself, casually just like walks over to the stain and like tries to distract the eye of like maybe her like looking at it by like averting gaze or like shielding like her eye or her face in the
Okay.
way that she moves with her fan, to not like draw too much attention or just so that they can't see that she's looking directly at the stain.
Okay.
So she's like shielding something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me 2d6, please.
Okay, I got a 10.
Wonderful. You go over and you are looking at this stain. And oh, I moved away from the page that I needed to be on. Give me 1 second. Where's my page? There it is. You go over and you look at the stain. It is by no means in the shape of a body. It doesn't look, particularly intriguing or anything like that. What is interesting is that you see a book next to the stain. Do you pick it up?
Yeah, 100%. I think like in that movement of like fanning herself, she kind of like bends down and tries to gracefully like sweep and hide the book that she's picking up with the fan. Um, in that kind of like fluid motion really quickly.
With a 10, easy enough for you to do. You see that this is a copy of Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
you, I've dropped it into the chat. Um, as you flip through, you notice that there's notes written in the margins, and specifically, it mentions how the techniques presented in this book could be used against somebody named Tara.
Oh, interesting.
This is an official
Tara.
clue, so this gets added to the list of clues that you all have
Oh,
gathered.
clue two. Tara. Book. Um, is everybody in the lighthouse together now, like including the constable and everyone, or am I still like a little bit further away?
The constable's definitely in there. If all of you have followed in, then everybody is gathered, but I'll leave that to everyone else to where actually this is an important point. Maxine, have you followed in the group or are you still standing outside? Or have you started to wander upstairs?
I followed in. I'm sort of just taking in the center room and keeping my eyes on the constable.
Perfect. Um, Olive, are you in the space with everybody?
I think after noticing the soapy water, I think Olive might have stayed like on the outside to see if there's anything. Maybe do like a perimeter around the lighthouse just to kind of see. So she's just slowly shuffling around in a circle
The
to go
slowest
around.
perimeter walk.
It's very thorough. I won't miss anything.
It's true. What about you, Irma? Have you stayed with the group or have you gone somewhere else?
Um, hmm. Oh, it'd be so fun to go somewhere else, though. No offense. Just like, where else would there be to go, though? We're in a lighthouse.
So you could have started to wander upstairs. You would have also.
Ay, que la chingada, what'd you do? Sorry.
That's okay.
She dropped the thing I put so that she wouldn't turn the fucking PC off again because she's a little shit. Stop that. What?
Pomegranate has already started to. I'm sorry. Yeah, Pomegranate has already started to wander. Um, you could have started to wander upstairs if you would like, or you did pass the lighthouse keeper's shack. Um, that was mentioned before.
I put it back and she did it again. I'll go upstairs.
Okay. So right now, Helen, it is you and Maxine and the constable who have remained downstairs. The constable seems to have taken this task, at least for right now, pretty seriously and is trying to eat the treats.
Okay, good. I think I would love to confer very quickly with Maxine and kind of whisper um, to Maxine, pulling her them aside a little bit and being like, "So, there was this stain over there, and I found this book next to it. Um, The Art of War. I just did a quick little scan. Do you know anybody named Tara in The Art of War? I never really read this book myself, even though, everything is about Confucianism here and there. And it's just like very tiring. But anyways, what do you know anything about this?
I uh, don't recall that in the book.
Tara is a very interesting name in The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Really? Okay,
Yeah.
weird. Hmm. Uh, kind of circles. And is there anything else in this first floor of the lighthouse
Um,
besides the tape and the stain?
Not that you can see. Before we jump into too much more detail, Maxine, what are you up to while you're watching the constable? Are you investigating anything? Are you doing or saying anything?
Uh, no, I was mostly just trying to keep an eye on him and what he's paying attention to. Uh, so if like he it takes interest in anything, I want to look at that. But mostly just watching him and seeing how he reacts to the scene.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and um roll me reason. Um, well, I would say that keeping tabs on the constable and kind of that could put you potentially at risk as the constable seems to have found a somewhat neutral ground, at least a distractible ground. And if he feels like you are trying to keep tabs on him, there's the potential for something there to go awry. So I think that this would be a day move. What are you worried might happen if the constable notices that you're watching him?
Um, I think I think like the worry is that uh, he'll think that we're trying to do something and then need to find everyone, like, and have that thought of like, where is everyone else? And
Ooh,
like, I need to figure out where everyone is. I think that's my, because he's like, what are they watching me for? What are they doing?
gotcha.
That type of thing.
So go ahead and roll me 2d6 plus your reason.
That is, it's a 9.
Wonderful. Um, if you decide to push through, you do get the sense that the constable has not noticed that Irma has gone upstairs, that Helen has picked up something, but has noticed that the lovely, if rambunctious and very worked up woman who gave him these snacks is missing from the group. So Olive specifically, he will start to look for if you decide to go through with this.
Oh, I'm really tempted to go through with it because then it leaves us here without him.
That's absolutely true. That's entirely your call.
Oh man, jeez. Uh, shoot. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll go through with it. That seems solid.
Okay. The constable, as he is chewing, kind of looks up and realizes he's got a job to do. He's here for something. Starts to look around, notices you, Maxine, keeping an eye on him. Well, why are you? And then pauses and starts to count and realizes that there's only three of you in this space. And starts to look a little bit frantic, sets the tray of snacks on one of the steps and turns around and starts looking, does not see Olive, and heads outside to try and go find Olive, which I think is an excellent segue. Olive, you are shuffling along, doing a little walk, checking the perimeter of this space, and you run into somebody. Um, This person is a younger, looks like a younger man. Um, kind of glances. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I didn't see you there. Is there anything that I can do for you? Why are you over here?
The cat notices. I'm um, just gonna go. Oh, excuse me, young person. I am just taking a look at the outside of a lighthouse. Do you know I've never made a full circle around a lighthouse before, so I thought, why not today?
Oh, um, well, I'm happy to show you. I've recently been promoted to lighthouse keeper. So I'm happy to walk with you, and we'll kind of hold his arm out.
Oh,
Um,
yes, please. And I think she's gonna kind of like lock arms with him and kind of like pull him a little close just to get that really like snug like in and to also probably help her balance. It's probably one of those things that like she wanted to do this, but as soon as she got started was a little bit like, sure hope I don't slip. So now that there is someone here is like, yes, we are locked in. Um and she'll be like, thank you so much. And you are
my name is Stephen, ma'am.
Steven
Stephen Nichols.
Nichols.
You are. You just remind me, of someone that you're not from around here, are you?
No, no, no. My name is Olive. Last name that I forgot that I made myself. Hold on. My memory's escaping me. One second. Emery.
Emery.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I am Olive Emery. I'm from Brindlewood Bay, actually.
Oh, I grew up in Brindlewood Bay. What a small
You
world.
did! Who
I
is
did.
your mother?
Uh, Marsha.
Do I know Marcia?
Do you know
Marcia,
Marsha?
Marcia.
I'll leave that up to you. Marsha Nichols.
Um, Marcia Nichols. Can I know what she does?
Marsha Nichols is a housekeeper in Brindlewood Bay. Helps maintain some of the homes for the older population
Yes.
there.
Oh, then definitely. I think yeah, I think if Olive doesn't have Marcia clean like hasn't hired Marcia to clean her house, then she at least has friends. It's probably a small enough community that like the cleaning business probably, hops around. So she would probably know of her and is maybe seen her around or something. It's like, "Oh, Marsha, I love Marsha. She's so sweet. She gives the best review of all my baked goods and is like kind of clapping his hands like as she's like going through this. She's like, Marsha is the sweetest little peach I have ever met. Oh, you are so lucky to have such a wonderful mother.
She's quite lovely, ma'am. I'm glad. I'm glad. I try to visit her pretty regularly. We have lunch every Sunday, so it's always nice to know that somebody else also thinks highly of her. Um, and he is. This is full charm, turned up to 10. Just the gentlest boy. And by boy, I mean this is a grown ass man, but just the
Yeah.
gentlest soul that is walking with you along. Um, you hear behind you, kind of out of breath. Uh, wait a second, Steven. Steven, wait. What are you? I need you to.
Oh, Alvin? Is it Alvin?
It's Alvin.
Oh, Alvin, have you finished your Chelsea buns yet?
I had to take a break because you wandered off, and I wanted to make sure that you were okay.
Of course, I have Stephen here to keep me company and safe from slipping on these slippery rocks.
Sure, Steven. Roll. Well, no, never mind. Uh, I sometimes forget what is given freely in this game and what is behind a roll. Um, you would see that Alvin doesn't seem like certainly not best friends with Steven, not that outright animosity that he was giving to the rest of you, but not exactly the fondest of Steven, you would guess. Um, just says, "Oh, Stephen, of course. Stand-up guy seems to catch all the ladies, I suppose." Says that a little bit begrudgingly.
Oh, and she's gonna give this like horrible cackle of a laugh. You're just gonna be like, you two, what fine people we've met with just being here for just a few minutes. But Alvin, you made me a promise, didn't you?
I don't think I promised anything, ma'am.
Ah, are you calling an old woman such as myself a liar?
Uh, ma'am, you really should.
She's gonna kind of turn it up a little bit and be just very taken back and be like, Stephen, I know I've only known you a short while, but can you believe this man? I just wanted him to have a well-balanced breakfast, to have enough energy to keep up with us old ladies, and now he's gone and called me a liar.
I, ma'am, I would never believe for a second that you were a liar. And looks over at Alvin. I can. She's fine. She just wanted to see the exterior of the lighthouse. I can show her around, and we'll bring her back. Um,
Is that okay with you, Alvin?
I I suppose. I suppose. Just don't keep her long. And Alvin will turn and start walking back around toward the lighthouse I'm sorry, toward the lighthouse reference entrance. I'm losing my words. Uh, Before we continue there, I want to jump over to Irma. Irma, you are starting to creep up the stairs, and the constable, curiously, walks out the front door. Um, are you looking for anything? Are you just trying to make it to the top of the stairs? What's your goal here?
So, from the newspaper, it said he fell from the top of the lighthouse, right?
Hmm.
So I can't do both. I can't like try to look as I'm going up the stairs.
Yeah, yeah, you absolutely can. I'm just,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
My
Um,
main goal is to get to the top of the stairs, but
okay,
also I'm definitely like looking to see if I can find anything as we go up,
okay.
especially because it's like, was he already at the top of the lighthouse? Was there a struggle like pulling him up the stairs? Things like that.
Go ahead and roll me meddling. This is just going to be 2d6 straight roll.
Okay. Uh, that's an 11.
Wonderful. Um, as you are walking up the stairs, excuse me, you see um the stairs are graded stairs, so it's not very comfortable to walk up these. There is a railing all the way around. Um, as you are walking up, you're passing intermittently windows, porthole windows that do have like a little ledge. Even if it's rounded, there seems to be a small spot where if you balance something just right, it could sit there. And you see a bottle of whiskey. What do you do?
Can I reach the bottle of whiskey?
You absolutely can.
All right. I'm going to like up fingerprints and such. And take off the scarf I was most definitely wearing for no apparent reason other than it's pretty. Um, and take it and gently wrap the bottle of whiskey and then put it in my giant ass tote bag that I crocheted. This looks like it'll be helpful for clues. This is the seventh part. And I'm gonna see if I can take a picture with this newfangled like iPhone that my no, not iPhone, fuck Apple. This newfangled phone that my grandkids were teaching me how to take the pictures. Oh, why is it on me? And take a picture of where exactly which porthole I'm at.
um, Before you do that, you notice when you pick up the bottle of whiskey that it is surprisingly light. And when you go to tilt it to kind of wedge it into a spot in your back, there's a clinking inside, as though there's something hard inside the bottle of whiskey. Clinks around, hits the sides. You look inside and you see a diamond ring at the bottom of this bottle. And that is an official clue that I've just dropped in the chat. A bottle of whiskey
Hey!
with a diamond ring at the bottom of it.
I'm just gonna like wrap it extra tight. Might even try to stuff the scarf in a bit to hide the clinking. And then put it in. Like that's a clue for that's a special mouse tool that'll help us later. We're gonna put that, and we don't want Alvin to know that I have that. So we're gonna put it in the bottom of the bag. Actually, instead of putting it in a tote bag, I'm gonna put it in Pomegranate's like necessities bag that I carry on me, like at the bottom of like cat like bags to pick up cat stuff and like her treats and stuff just at the bottom. Because if something loose in there, I have cat toys.
You pull out your phone to go and take a picture, and easy enough to do. What is the first, before you take this picture, what is the first photo that comes up as the most recent one on Irma's phone? Just out of curiosity.
It's probably one of those. She was probably sending it to one of her grandkids. It's like from like a low angle, and it's pomegranate curled up on her chest, and she's reading one of the Royal Crown, Gold Crown. I know this series. It's fine. One of the Gold Crown books, and it's her taking a selfie of pomegranate to send to one of her grandkids who's off at college. Like, we can't wait for you to come home and visit, and things like that. Love, Grandma.
That is so cute. Um, I would like to jump back downstairs. Maxine and Helen, you were both there when the constable left. What are you two up to?
Quickly, now that he's gone, let's see if we can find anything else, huh? She'll say to, to Maxine. um, you said there was like tape around here, like caution tape.
Yeah, like
Did you
police
say
tape.
that? Okay. What is it holding back, or what is it like? What is the boundaries for it doing?
It's torn now, but it looks like it was looped to one of the railings going up the lighthouse, so it probably was trying to block off going upstairs.
Oh, I see. I see. Um, turns to Maxine and says, uh, you write a lot of those storybooks, right? What do you think happened if you were the author of this kind of like murder? Do you think what do you think you would write? Huh?
Oh, that is an interesting question. I I think the person at the lighthouse knew someone outside of the lighthouse, and there has to be some form of tension. I don't know what the tension would be, though.
That's true. Like who would want to kill a nice old man taking care of this space? You know, like what would they gain about any of this here? Uh, as I pose that question, are there any more books around this space? I want to look for like personal effects, maybe, or anything that would lead to a terror of another person being here, perhaps instead of one person staying here.
Nothing that you can see on this floor. Um, the shack that is nearby had was space that could be used for um storing things, and upstairs you would guess might be where a private lodging might be, but on this space there's nothing that you see that indicates another person was around.
I'll say to Maxine, do you want to go upstairs? Maybe we can find something some other clues there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't see anything else down here.
Okay, okay. I will, right before we go up, pick up the the tray of wonderful, delicious buns and uh, to take with me because she cannot stand that he placed them on the step. Um, of all places, and she'll just pick up and say, these days people have no manners, you know. Just leave food anywhere for anybody to eat. Do you know how hard it is to make flour? Do you know how hard it is? People out there breaking their back making flour so that we can make, you know, delicious good. And he just put it on the step. Oh my goodness, never even finish it. Disrespectful. She'll like take it with her as she like grumbles up the stairs with Maxine, I think.
Maxine, Irma, and Helen, you all are heading upstairs. Let's jump back over to Olive really quick. Olive, you are walking with Steven. Are you talking to Steven about anything?
Yeah, I think she might play a little dumb and is just going to be like, oh, so you're the lighthouse keeper? How long have you been a keeper here? And just try to get some like information about his history with the lighthouse.
Um, well, I've been a keeper here for a while. Um, it's I was working with Cyrus, who I don't know if you know, passed recently. So um,
Oh, oh, the man in the newspaper.
yeah,
I'm so sorry, Stephen. Oh, that's awful.
he wasn't, he didn't always get along with everybody, but he was nice enough to me, and showed me how to take care of this, and he kind of pats the lighthouse as you're walking by, and it's been pretty important to me to make sure that you know I keep things up and running in his honor.
You you are such a good young man. So good. Marsha raised you well. Raised you so well. What you said, I mean, did he you said he didn't really get along with everyone? Did he I mean, what's there not to get along with? He's a keeper of a lighthouse.
Cyrus was complicated, um, but he I don't know. People used to think that he roughed me up a bit, and he never did. He was a very kind, stern, grumpy, hard to please, but overall very kind man. He just cared a lot about the lighthouse. That's what he was here for, and I guess some people wished he spent more time in town, but Cyrus knew what he was about, and what he was about was making sure that any ships coming in would know about Mucky Point here and not get, mucked up in all of the rocks and cliffs and whatnot.
Mm, well, Stephen, what do you think you're just to bring a little positivity back? What do you think is your favorite memory with Cyrus? The happiest time that you two had?
Happy wasn't exactly something I described Cyrus with, but I think a good one was when he um, he showed me how to change the light bulb on the lighthouse. It so rarely goes out, of course. Um, so it felt like a something that is pretty rare. It felt special to know that he hadn't shown anybody else how to do that. Um, when we were up there, there was there was it's a little weird at this lighthouse, to be honest. Um, kind of a strange there's been some weird things that have happened here over time, and I don't know too much about it, but um, I mean, one thing, everyone who stays here as a lighthouse keeper has dreams about mermaids, which, you're here, um, you're by the ocean all the time, except they're always trying to kill you. I mentioned it to Cyrus one time, and um, it just wasn't. I was surprised to hear he'd had the same dreams. They're always a little scarier than you might expect. Um,
Well, that's
which
true. That mermaids aren't all like the Little Mermaid. They're not all Disneyfied, you know. There could be some mean ones as well.
apparently, um, this is because you are continuing to talk with Stephen. This
Mm.
is a void clue.
Wha- What do I
Void
do with
clues are
a void
indicative
clue?
of the weirdness that goes on in Brindlewood Bay, the things that feel a little bit stranger than just something related to this mystery.
I see.
These do not apply to solving the mystery that you are here to solve. This applies to something bigger than that.
I mean,
Um,
I feel like she's intrigued. Do I? Is this like? Is this the occult move or is this a different one?
you don't have to roll for this.
Oh,
This is because you have continued to talk to Steven. This is something that Steven knows and Steven can reveal.
yay! I did it. Okay, great.
Um, I want to jump back up to Irma as you are heading up to this top of this lighthouse. I imagine that Helen and Maxine have time to be able to catch up. So we'll say that the three of you are at the top of the lighthouse. You get up there, and there's a door to your left, door to your right, and then it's not stairs, but it takes you vertical. It's the thing that we all
Ladder.
have. A ladder. Thank you. I totally forgot the word there. Uh, you all see a door to your left, a door to your right, and then a ladder that would lead you up. You would guess up to where the light bulb of the lighthouse itself is. You saw from the outside that there is a circular catwalk that walks around the edge outside around where the light bulb is. Where are you guys headed?
Irma's going to the light bulb.
Okay.
I think Helen would, before she goes outside, would search the space in a way to try to find more clues about the said Terra that has been noted in the Art of War book. If
Okay.
there's any clue to another person.
Okay. And Maxine, where are you headed?
Uh, whatever the opposite door Helen goes.
Okay.
And I look at Helen and say, I think we should split up because we can cover more ground while the constable is outside.
Oh, very good idea. Very good idea. You know, you are always so sharp. I love that about you. You know.
Um, you two go to separate doors, and Irma, you head up to the lighthouse. Let's We'll solve in reverse order. So Maxine, you open your door, um, and you see that there is a single twin-size bed. This is a very pristine place. It's a very, military corners tucked into the bed, military fold on the pillowcase. Um, Everything seems intentionally spaced. There's a dresser. Uh, Whoever slept here or sleeps here is a very organized, meticulous person. Um, are you looking for anything in particular, or trying to? What are you doing in this space?
I think upon seeing the intense organization, uh, Maxine gets the thought that this is the type of person that could commit a murder uh, and is going to look for anything that could identify the person in here. Like I don't know, like cards that like to places, um, and anything that's like identification y just through this area.
Okay. I think this counts as a meddling move, so go ahead and roll me 2d6.
That is a 9.
Excellent. Um, on a 9, uh, you start to investigate. You're digging around. Um, you find a newspaper clipping, kind of tucked away into one of the drawers, and you see that it's kind of torn at the edge, and that Cyrus's name is in it. But you're not quite sure what else this was about. Uh, a 7 to 9, which I have not been doing this, so I apologize that y'all have gotten a little bit more away on clues than you should have. Um, on a 7 to a 9, you get a incomplete or a complicated clue. So there's some kind of challenge with the clue itself. So while you have revealed it, what you have found is a newspaper clipping about Cyrus's involvement in something, but you are not sure what exactly that something is.
Right. I think I sort of just gather that and fold it up and then put it into my journal. And I walk out of the room and I like slowly close the door back to where it was. And yeah.
Make sure that it is placed and the handle is turned exactly as you had found it, just in case. Um, we'll jump over to Helen. Helen, you walk in, and this room, though you haven't seen the other, for our viewers and sort of the camera would know this this juxtaposition. This room is much more haphazard than the other that I've described. The bed is barely made. There's clutter on on the surface of the dresser. There's a desk shoved into a corner. There's books everywhere. This is somebody who this has made this space very pointedly lived in. Um, you specifically are looking for something about Tara. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it is interesting to have a book kind of mentioning techniques about being against useful against Terra. Um, so I think since there has not been a mention of said person, I think that's the kind of thread that Helen's like trying to pull at. I think.
Okay. Um, you start to wander around this space and you notice there's a picture pinned to a bulletin board. Um, and underneath is like a little label that has names listed across that shows the people in order. You would see that there is a tall, handsome gentleman underneath labeled Stephen. Um, there is a redheaded woman with bright pink cheeks underneath labeled Sandy. And there is a woman with a mullet, a larger woman with a mullet, wearing a denim vest, and underneath that is labeled Tara.
I see. Um, hmm. She, I think she thinks she wants to take the picture. Um, I don't think she is the most. I've already set out that she's not the most technologically savvy, it seems, with the phone and the texting. So I think she goes towards the frame and kind of just, I guess she's taking stuff. She tries to undo the back of it, of whatever this frame is, and tries to take the picture and then uses the picture to put it as like a note, a bookmark in the Art of War book that she's been carrying around, if it's possible. Uh, and she kind of goes through if there's any other uh, since this place is kind of disheveled, are there any kind of she goes through the drawers to see if there's any notes or any more like journals or papers addressing Atera, um, or mentioning maybe the group itself, maybe Sandy as well. Um,
Sure.
so,
Um, Before we jump to that, I will say, sorry. Um, I
mhm.
will say that you hear the door at the bottom of the lighthouse open, kind of slam open pretty loudly. Um,
Okay.
Likely, either the constable or Olive or somebody else has entered, re-entered the lighthouse. Um, Before we sort of solve that, I want to jump over to Irma. Irma, you are climbing up to the top of this lighthouse. What are you doing up here?
This is where he would have had to fall from, right? Like,
Yes.
um, that's a bad idea. I want to say realistically, someone could just trip and fall over. Like, I want to like lean over. I'm gonna actually call down to Helen. Helen, dear, will you watch Pomegranate for a second, please? I'm about to do something stupidly
Oh,
dangerous. Here you go. Thank you.
okay. Go. Oh,
Bye
okay.
bye. Love you. Thank you. And just walk over.
Helen's in a full panic. She heard a door close, and now a cat is just left alone.
Not alone. She's with you.
Yeah, but now you're good.
I would never leave my pomegranate alone outside of the house. That would be ridiculous. Um, Irma's going to like go to the edge where she suspects Cyrus would have fallen and put her hands on the rail and then slowly start to spread them like this. So she's still holding on and lean as far over the railing as she possibly can.
um, I think this counts as a risky move.
Yeah.
So I think that it is fair to roll for a day move. Um, what is your worry if you fail this roll? What are you afraid of will happen?
I'm afraid somebody will see and alert the constable.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 and add your vitality.
Oh, did I put a lot? Did I put anything into that? Of
You only
course
had
I
1 point
did.
to drop somewhere, so.
That's the physical roll. Why would I ever put anything in that? I never. Come on. That's a 10.
Nice. Phenomenal. Um, on its end, you do what you intended or you hold steady. What does this look like as you are doing this? What result do you find?
Um, it kind of looks like she's doing like the Titanic, like I'm on the whatever, like I'm flying, Jack, but like by herself.
Not whatever.
I couldn't remember if it's I'm King of the World or if it's I'm flying,
I love
whichever.
love it. Yeah, I'm flying.
I'm on
Yeah,
top of the world or so.
Yeah,
Like I think it's both. I think it's
I think
both.
it is
It's
both.
true.
porque no los dos? She does some shit. And so she's ready, spread her arms, and she's like leaning as far as she possibly can to see if she could like lean over accidentally, like if she had stumbled, like or if she would need like that extra little to get over the thing.
Little assistance.
Yeah.
Um, you start to lean over, and the railing itself is pretty sturdy. Is the first thing that you find. Um, for you, the railing comes at a height where you would need a little bit of assistance getting over the edge. Um, but you don't know how tall Cyrus was, so you don't know if this came at a height where it could hit at just the right angle that if he fell toward it, he might not be able to catch himself. Um, Not quite sure, but nobody sees you. Nobody on the ground. notices that there is a elderly woman slowly leaning over the edge of the lighthouse in a very concerning manner. So luckily, you are safe at the moment.
Question.
Answer.
Do I see if there's like a safety platform underneath that if he had fallen, he would have, if he had just fallen, because I've never pushed anybody off a building, but I'm assuming if you do, God makes me terrified. I'm assuming if you're gonna push a person off a building, they get like a little extra like airtime or like at least a little extra distance if you're like, there's like there's science and shit. So they're like so I'm assuming that if Cyrus was pushed, he would have like flailed a little bit and maybe not caught the safety thing. But if he just went and fell like backwards or something, he would have hit it.
Got it.
Right? There's safety regulations and stuff.
There are safety regulations in big cities. This is a very small town where the constable gets to kind of make up the rules.
The rules of OSHA don't apply here.
The rules of OSHA don't apply here. There is no safety net that you see. So it could have been either. You imagine that for somebody to fall, they would have been surprised and likely would have been pushed from behind. There's not a lot of space on this catwalk to where somebody could run and push with the momentum needed to catch somebody aware and push them over the edge if that were to happen. You would have to surprise them, and likely they would be pushed from behind, because if you saw somebody coming towards you with the intent of pushing you off of a lighthouse, ideally you would move one way or another. um so that is the general guess, is that uh that is, yeah, that is what you would assume, but there is no safety net, unfortunately, on this lighthouse.
Okay, can I like vibe check the area and see if there's a clue?
Yeah. Before you roll me meddling, um the door has slammed open downstairs, and you hear somebody running. All three of you hear somebody running up the steps, moving faster than you heard the constable leave, and faster than you have heard Olive move before. And somebody comes up the stairs, blows past Maxine and Helen, climbs up the ladder to the lighthouse, moving impossibly quickly, finds you, Irma, leaning over the edge of this lighthouse, and you feel two hands on your shoulders. And I think that is a perfect place for us to end tonight's session.
Fuck!
This has been absolutely lovely. We will pick it back up next Monday to figure out who this person is and what exactly they are doing. But I would like really, really quick to hand it over to my players to once again introduce themselves. Give yourselves, what am I trying to say? Let us know where we can find you, what you do, what your social media handles are, anything that we can support you doing next. So we'll go in the same order that we did our intros. So Andrew, I'll hand it to you first.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I am the GM of That's Dicey podcast. I am one of the hosts of Melanin Mythos. And if you're interested in either of those things, you can find all that information at ASuzaGM on Twitter. That's me.
Thank you kindly. And then we'll pass it over to Knox.
I wasn't eating. Hi, y'all. I'm Noxikidos. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and today I was Irma Cortez, who also uses she, her, hers, and Hazel was pomegranate. Yay! As for what I'm doing this Saturday, you can catch me here on Entropy Emporium. This Saturday? It's this Saturday. It's every other Saturday, but it's this Saturday, where I'll be tormenting Kian as a player for them again, with that when we last time decided it was a good idea to start a fire in a library. Um, and keeps picking fights with Stellan, but to be fair, Stellan's a jerk. um, and that's where you can catch me. These are my two main streams. I'm on a monthly stream over on Queensgate Chronicles. The VOD's still up if you want to go watch that. But yeah, and if you want to catch up, keep up with everything that I'm doing, you can follow me on social media at nocturnal_7. And oh, Dr. Pepper count. I'm gonna down this right now. So 3, and water
It's not a
count
challenge.
1.
It's not
It
a
is.
challenge. You don't
It is to me.
you don't have to race to drink the Dr. Pepper Knox.
Gotta
It's
up it
okay.
every time, every stream.
Oh, oh,
um while Knox chugs this Dr. Pepper, I will hand it over to Ian.
hi. Amazing, amazing, Knox. Congratulations. Olympics. It should be in the Olympics. Um, my name is Ian DePriest. My pronouns are he, they. I have been playing Helen Yang tonight. Pronouns she, her. You can find me all over the internet. I am a voice actor, singer, songwriter. If you just search Ian DePriest, my name will pop up. On Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, it's Ian LDP. And I've been on a few different like TTRPGs here and there, so I'm sure you'll see me.
Thank you kindly, and over to Blair.
Hello, I'm Blair _Canadian Moose all over the place. I've been playing Olive Emery tonight, your favorite little baker. Um, but yeah, this has been fantastic. Where can you find me? Um, Normally on Wednesdays or every other Wednesday, but normally it would be this Wednesday over on Lost Caravan, playing Nova, but we don't have it this week, so we'll have it again on the 28th. um, then next Wednesday on the 21st, it's the finale of Beacon's Royal Flush, which is the Beacon RPG mini series that we've been playing in between normal uh, Beacons of Farlight series over on High Shelf Collective. So that's kind of the only, and then of course this, but those are kind of the only things that I'm in currently. If you want to just hang out with me, I'm usually over on High Shelf Collective. That's kind of my home base. But yeah, that's kind of all I got going on. Thank you so much, Kian and cast, everybody. This has been fantastic. Love it.
Thank you kindly. Um, hello. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, he. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight_chiffon, uptight-chiffon, depending on where you're hanging out. What I am doing other than this, I am GMing our game on Saturday that is Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun actual play that I adore my cast. It's a phenomenal game. Come check it out. Um, I am typically hanging out with Blair over on Nova. I will be hanging out with Blair for sure over on the finale of Beacon's Royal Flush, our Beacon Bites mini series that happens before Arc 3 of Beacons of Firelight, which is very exciting to be starting that final arc. Every other Tuesday, I'm here for They Call Us Villains, our horror masks actual play. Next Saturday, I will be on Lost Caravan for Fabula Ultima Fatal Ascension. That is the finale of our Fabula Ultima game. Um, Other than that, I've got 2 or 3 projects coming up that I can't yet talk about. Follow me on social media. That is where you'll hear about it first. Really quick, just kind of running through what we've got on Entropy Emporium. It's a busy week for us. On Thursday, we've got God Complex here. That is the Neon Genesis Evangelion inspired magical girl game, GM'd by Will. On Friday, we've got Weird Wilds War, which is our D&D 5e game, GM'd by JT. And then, of course, Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun actual play. The next 2 Mondays, we will be back here for Brindlewood Bay. This is only a 3-episode series, so definitely come hang out. Don't miss a single episode because a lot is going to happen in each episode. And then next Tuesday, They Call Us Villains, our Horror Masks actual play. That is what we're doing. Um, I forgot to ask about a raid for my cast, so sit tight. We are going to raid somebody, but I can't tell you who it is right off the top of my head.
Lost Caravan, they're still going.
Caravan is
High
still
Shelf
going.
Collective was also
Oh
still
God! Now
going.
you'll have to fist fight. What happened? We will
High
be
shelf, let's
raiding.
go.
We will be raiding High Shelf Collective. So sit tight. Let him know where you came from. say hello. They're a phenomenal channel. Go support everything they do. Go support Caravan as well. They're doing a phenomenal game.
They're
They're
doing a
doing their
charity thing.
charity week, Call of
Yes.
Cthulhu Charity Week. So definitely go and support them as well. Other than that, be kind to yourselves, each other, and the planet, and we will catch y'all here next. We'll catch you here on Entropy on Thursday, and then returning for this series next Monday. See you later, everybody. Say bye, cast.
Bye, cast.
Bye, cast.
Bye, cat.
Bye, cat.
Bye, cat.